Today we're diving into the fascinating world of income distribution and the Kaitz curve in economics. Income distribution refers to how a nation's total earnings are divided among its population. This topic is crucial because it helps us understand economic inequality, social mobility, and the effectiveness of policies like minimum wage. Throughout this video, we'll explore key concepts, real-world examples, and the role of the Kaitz curve in analyzing wage structure. Let's start by unpacking what income distribution means and why economists pay so much attention to it. Income distribution is essentially the way in which a country's wealth is shared among its citizens. Some people earn more while others earn less, and this spread can reveal a lot about a society's structure. Economists use various tools and measurements to analyze this distribution, such as the Lorentz curve and Gini coefficient. By examining income distribution, we can identify patterns of inequality and understand how different groups are affected by economic policy. This sets the stage for deeper analysis, including the role of minimum wage and labor market dynamics. Understanding income distribution is vital for policymakers and economists. It affects everything from economic growth to social stability. When income is distributed more equally, societies often experience higher levels of trust and cooperation. On the other hand, high inequality can lead to social unrest and hinder economic progress. By studying income distribution, governments can design policies that promote fairness and economic opportunity for all. This is why economists spend so much time analyzing how income is shared across different segments of the population. Measure income inequality. Economists use several statistical tools. The Lorentz curve is a graphical representation that shows the proportion of total income earned by cumulative percentages of the population. The Gini coefficient derived from the Lorentz curve quantifies inequality on a scale from 0 to 1, where 0 means perfect equality and 1 means maximum inequality. These tools help us visualize and compare income distribution across countries and over time, providing valuable insights for economic analysis and policymaking. Income distribution is shaped by a variety of factors. Education, skill levels, labor market conditions, and government policies all play significant roles. For example, higher education often leads to higher earnings, while technological changes can create new opportunities or make certain jobs obsolete. Tax policies and social welfare programs also impact how income is shared. By understanding these factors, we can better grasp why income distribution varies so much between countries and even within different regions of the same country. Minimum wage laws are one of the most direct ways governments influence income distribution. By setting a legal floor for wages, these laws aim to ensure that workers receive a basic standard of living. However, the impact of minimum wage on income distribution is complex. While it can lift earnings for the lowest paid workers, it may also affect employment opportunities and business costs. Economists use models like the Kaitz curve to analyze these effects and determine the optimal level for minimum wage policies. Now let's introduce the Kaitz curve, a key concept in labor economics. The Kaitz curve is a graphical tool that shows the relationship between the minimum wage and the median wage in an economy. By comparing the minimum wage to the median wage, economists can assess how binding the minimum wage is and its potential effects on the labor market. This curve helps policymakers understand whether the minimum wage is set too high, too low, or just right for the economic context. Kaitz ratio is the core measure behind the Kaitz curve. It's calculated by dividing the minimum wage by the median wage. A higher Kaitz ratio means the minimum wage is closer to the median wage, making it more binding for employers. Conversely, a lower ratio suggests the minimum wage affects fewer workers. This simple calculation provides powerful insights into the potential impact of wage policies on employment, business competitiveness, and income distribution. Better understand the Kaitz curve, imagine a graph with the minimum wage on the vertical axis and the median wage on the horizontal axis. The curve itself plots the Kaitz ratio across different industries or countries. This visualization helps economists and policymakers quickly assess how minimum wage policies compare and where they might have the greatest impact. By examining the shape and position of the Kaitz curve, we can identify trends and make informed decisions about wage regulations. Minimum wage levels vary widely around the world. Some countries set a high minimum wage relative to the median wage, while others keep it much lower. These differences reflect diverse economic conditions, labor market structures, and policy priorities. By comparing Kaitz ratios internationally, economists can study the effects of different wage policies and draw lessons about what works best in various contexts. This global perspective is essential for understanding the broader implications of income distribution. Let's look at the United States as an example. The federal minimum wage has remained unchanged for several years, while the median wage has continued to rise. As a result, the Kaitz ratio has declined, meaning the minimum wage is less binding than it once was. This has sparked debates about whether the minimum wage should be increased to better support low-income workers and reduce income inequality. The Kaitz curve provides a useful framework for analyzing these policy discussions. In contrast, many European countries have higher Kaitz ratios due to stronger minimum wage laws. For example, France and Germany set their minimum wages closer to the median wage, resulting in a more binding wage floor. This approach aims to reduce income inequality and provide greater protection for low-wage workers. However, it also raises questions about potential impacts on employment and business competitiveness. The Kaitz curve helps us compare these different strategies and their outcomes. Kaitz ratio can also vary significantly across industries within the same country. Sectors like hospitality and retail often have a higher proportion of minimum wage workers, leading to a higher Kaitz ratio. In contrast, industries with higher average wages such as technology or finance tend to have lower Kaitz ratios. Understanding these differences is crucial for designing targeted wage policies that address the unique needs of each sector. One of the most debated topics in economics is the impact of minimum wage on employment. Some argue that higher minimum wages can lead to job losses, especially for low-skilled workers. Others believe that the benefits of higher wages outweigh potential downsides. The Kaitz curve provides a framework for analyzing these effects by showing how binding the minimum wage is in different contexts. This helps policymakers weigh the trade-offs and make informed decisions. Wage compression occurs when the gap between low and median wages narrows, often as a result of higher minimum wages. This can reduce income inequality, but may also affect incentives for skill development and career advancement. The Kaitz curve helps us visualize wage compression and understand its implications for both workers and employers. By analyzing these trends, economists can recommend policies that balance equity and efficiency in the labor market. Income distribution is closely linked to social mobility, the ability of individuals to move up the economic ladder. When income is distributed more equally, people have greater opportunities to improve their lives through education and hard work. However, high inequality can create barriers that limit upward mobility. By studying income distribution and the Kaitz curve, we gain insights into how policies can promote greater opportunity and reduce persistent poverty. Analysis of income distribution and the Kaitz curve has important policy implications. Governments can use these tools to design wage policies that promote fairness and economic growth. For example, adjusting the minimum wage based on the Kaitz ratio can help ensure that wage floors are both effective and sustainable. Policymakers must also consider the broader economic context, including inflation, productivity, and labor market conditions. Measuring income distribution and the Kaitz ratio isn't always straightforward. Data limitations, differences in wage reporting, and variations in labor market structures can all complicate analysis. Economists must carefully interpret the available data and consider potential biases. Despite these challenges, the Kaitz curve remains a valuable tool for understanding wage dynamics and informing policy decisions. Over time, income distribution and minimum wage policies have evolved in response to changing economic conditions. In many countries, periods of rapid economic growth have led to rising wages and reduced inequality. However, globalization and technological change have also created new challenges, sometimes widening the gap between high and low earners. By studying historical trends, we can better understand the forces shaping income distribution today. Technology has a major impact on income distribution. Automation and digitalization can increase productivity but may also displace certain jobs, affecting wage structures. High-skilled workers often benefit the most, while low-skilled workers may face greater risks. Policymakers must consider these dynamics when designing wage policies and supporting workers through education and training programs. Globalization has connected economies around the world, creating new opportunities and challenges for income distribution. While some workers benefit from access to global markets, others may lose out due to increased competition and outsourcing. The Kaitz curve can help us analyze how global trends influence wage policies and income inequality in different countries. Demographic changes, such as aging populations and migration, also affect income distribution. Older workers may have different wage patterns compared to younger workers, while migration can introduce new skills and competition into the labor market. Understanding these shifts is essential for designing effective wage policies and ensuring that income distribution remains fair and sustainable. Education is one of the most powerful tools for improving income distribution. Higher levels of education and skill development lead to better job opportunities and higher wages. Governments can promote more equitable income distribution by investing in education and training programs, helping workers adapt to changing economic conditions. Social welfare programs, such as unemployment benefits and income support, play a key role in shaping income distribution. These policies help reduce poverty and provide a safety net for vulnerable populations. By analyzing the Kaitz curve alongside social welfare measures, policymakers can design comprehensive strategies to promote economic security and reduce inequality. Tax policies are another important tool for influencing income distribution. Progressive tax systems, where higher earners pay a larger share of their income, can help reduce inequality. Redistribution through taxes and transfers ensures that economic growth benefits a broader segment of society. The Kaitz curve can be used in conjunction with tax analysis to assess the overall impact of fiscal policy on income distribution. Labor market institutions, such as unions and collective bargaining agreements, also influence income distribution. Strong labor organizations can negotiate higher wages and better working conditions for their members, narrowing the gap between low and high earners. The Kaitz curve helps us understand how these institutions interact with minimum wage policies and overall wage structures. Gender plays a significant role in income distribution. Women often earn less than men due to factors like occupational segregation, discrimination, and differences in work experience. Addressing gender gaps in pay is essential for achieving more equitable income distribution. The Kaitz curve can be used to analyze how minimum wage policies affect gender disparities in the labor market. Young workers are often overrepresented among minimum wage earners. This makes them particularly sensitive to changes in minimum wage policies and the Kaitz ratio. Supporting youth employment through targeted training and education programs can help improve income distribution and provide better opportunities for the next generation. Income distribution can vary widely between regions within a country. Urban areas often have higher wages and more job opportunities, while rural regions may face greater economic challenges. The Kaitz curve can be used to analyze these regional differences and inform policies that promote balanced economic development. In many countries, a significant portion of the workforce is employed in the informal sector, where minimum wage laws may not be enforced. This can limit the effectiveness of wage policies and contribute to persistent income inequality. Understanding the size and characteristics of informal labor markets is crucial for designing policies that reach all workers. Economic growth can have both positive and negative effects on income distribution. While growth can create new jobs and raise incomes, it can also widen the gap between high and low earners if the benefits are not shared equitably. The Kaitz curve helps us analyze how growth interacts with wage policies and income distribution over time. Productivity growth is a key driver of rising wages. When workers produce more, businesses can afford to pay higher wages without sacrificing competitiveness. However, if productivity gains are not shared with workers, income inequality can increase. The Kaitz curve can help identify whether wage growth is keeping pace with productivity improvements. Inflation affects the purchasing power of wages. Even if nominal wages rise, real wages may stagnate or decline if prices increase faster. Policymakers must consider inflation when setting minimum wages and analyzing the Kaitz ratio to ensure that workers' living standards are protected. Setting the minimum wage too high can affect business competitiveness, especially for small firms and industries exposed to international competition. The Kaitz curve helps policymakers balance the need for fair wages with the realities of business costs and market dynamics. This ensures that wage policies support both workers and economic growth. One of the main goals of minimum wage policies is to reduce poverty. By raising the earnings of the lowest paid workers, these policies can help lift families out of poverty and improve overall well-being. The Kaitz curve provides a framework for evaluating the effectiveness of wage policies in achieving this important objective. Income distribution has a significant impact on health outcomes. Societies with more equal income distribution often experience better health, lower crime rates, and higher levels of well-being. By promoting fair wages and reducing inequality, policymakers can improve not only economic outcomes but also social and health indicators. More equal income distribution can strengthen social cohesion and trust within communities. When people feel that economic opportunities are fairly distributed, they are more likely to participate in civic life and support collective goals. The Kaitz curve helps policymakers design wage policies that foster greater social harmony and stability. Despite its benefits, minimum wage policy is not without critics. Some argue that it can lead to higher unemployment, especially among low-skilled workers and small businesses. Others believe that the benefits outweigh the risks. The Kaitz curve provides a balanced framework for evaluating these arguments and designing policies that minimize negative side effects. Looking ahead, the future of income distribution and minimum wage policy will be shaped by ongoing economic, technological, and social changes. Policymakers must remain flexible and responsive, using tools like the Kaitz curve to monitor trends and adjust policies as needed. By staying informed, we can ensure that wage policies continue to promote fairness and economic opportunity. Sum up, income distribution and the Kaitz curve are essential concepts for understanding economic inequality and designing effective wage policies. By analyzing how income is shared and how minimum wage policies interact with the broader labor market, we can develop strategies that promote fairness, opportunity, and economic growth. The Kaitz curve remains a valuable tool for policymakers and economists alike. In practice, the Kaitz curve is used by governments, researchers, and international organizations to assess the impact of wage policies. By comparing Kaitz ratios across countries and industries, decision-makers can identify best practices and tailor policies to local conditions. This practical approach ensures that wage policies are both effective and responsive to changing economic realities. Economists continue to study income distribution and the Kaitz curve to better understand the complex dynamics of the labor market. New research explores the effects of automation, globalization, and demographic change on wage structures. By staying up to date with the latest findings, policymakers can design more effective and equitable wage policies. While the Kaitz curve is a valuable tool, it has its limitations. It doesn't capture all aspects of wage dynamics, such as informal labor markets or non-wage benefits. Policymakers should use it alongside other measures and consider the broader economic context when designing wage policies. This comprehensive approach leads to better outcomes for workers and society as a whole. As we wrap up, remember that income distribution and the Kaitz curve are central to understanding how economies function and how policies can promote fairness. By analyzing these concepts, we can create a more just and prosperous society. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the economics of income distribution and the Kaitz curve. If you're interested in learning more about income distribution, the Kaitz curve, or related economic concepts, there are many resources available. Books, academic articles, and online courses can deepen your understanding and help you stay informed about the latest developments in labor economics. Keep exploring, and you'll gain valuable insights into the forces shaping our world.